how do you earn the trust of like some of the NBA greats? Like, what does that process look like for a young player, especially back then?
It's a daily thing. It's not one thing that you do. It's just how you prepare, how you come in every day. I was always early. I was always early. I was always working hard, shooting shots, extra shots, asking the right questions. Being very, very competitive, and that's something that's noticeable.
Welcome everybody to the Role Player Podcast. We back again, still presented to you by the good folks over there at Swish Cultures in affiliation with Eurohoops.net. So if y'all checking this out, make sure y'all go hit that follow button below. We glad to have you back, man. And we back again with my guy, CEO Swish Cultures, 11-year overseas vet. I'm gonna start saying 12 because it seems like we add one on every time. You already know the deal. And Stanford gentleman, the one and only Anthony Goods. Was good with you? You got the hat on today. This. Let me watch my mouth. This man went full on Tiger Woods on us, dog. Like got even with the brand, bruh. You good over there?
Hey man, it was Thirsty Thursdays, man, and y'all got me on here at midnight. Wait, holla at me tomorrow. Holla at me tomorrow. I'm gonna be cut up.
It's tough times over there in Madrid, man. That's crazy. I'm glad. You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm glad to see you down right now. Cause you be talking. I'm glad to see you down, man. But look, Goods, we got a very, very, very good guest today, man. We got two-time NBA champ, Pro A French League champ, a French Cup winner, a French League All-Star, Israeli League champ, an Israeli League Cup winner, Montenegrin Cup winner, the Horizon Player of the Year, way back in college, Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA vet, 7-year NBA vet, right?
Yes, sir.
7-year NBA
Yes,
vet,
sir.
and what was it? What you been 3 years in EuroLeague? 3-year EuroLeague vet.
4 years in
4 years. Let me
EuroLeague.
not get it wrong, because we showing love out here, man. We got the one and only, we got the one and only Mr. Norris Cole, man. Norris, appreciate you hopping on with us, dog.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
Yo,
Don't
off the
leave out the
rip.
two-time NBA champ
Did
either.
I
Don't
miss
leave that
that? I
part
thought
out,
I
cause
led with that.
you definitely
Did I
missed that
what?
out.
I swear I led with
Nah,
that.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah, I think you
No, I'm
mentioned
just,
it.
I
I'm
was
just
about to
messing with
say,
you. I'm just messing
I
with
was
you.
about to say I led with
I'm just
that,
messing
cause we gonna get into that, man. We definitely you had to say it twice,
Nah,
huh?
I wanted to ask him off
Facts.
top, bro. Like honestly, like how does that like looking back at it now, man? How does it feel like to really say like you won an NBA championship and you had like a serious hand in it? Like, what does that really feel like?
Man, it's a blessing, really. I was fortunate enough to, have the right timing. Sometimes it's about timing and about situation. And I was fortunate to, go to an organization that had championship goals and championship pedigree. And I was able to show that I was trustworthy enough to be on the court as a young player. And that's all you want, as a young player. You want to be respected and earn the trust of the coaches and the veterans so that you can, play a role. So the best part is not just winning a championship. It was being able to actually play, and be able to contribute to winning.
Yo, so how do you earn the trust of like some of the NBA greats? Like, what does that process look like for a young player, especially back then?
It's a daily thing. It's not one thing that you do. It's just how you prepare, how you come in every day. I was always early. I was always early. I was always working hard, shooting shots, extra shots, asking the right questions. Being very, very competitive, and that's something that's noticeable. Learning quickly. When I made mistakes, I was able to learn from them and not make the same mistakes. Over and over. So being a quick learner, and those things are, what you have to have when you're a role player on a championship team. You have to be trustworthy. You have to have good practice habits. You have to learn quickly.
Yo, do you think had you, because you came out, you 4 years, right? 4 years in school. Do
Hmm.
you think had you come out, after 1 or 2 years, do you think you would have been capable, not physically, but more mentally, like you said, showing up early? You think you always had those qualities of, joining a team with that pedigree and those aspirations?
You know what? I'm not sure. One thing about college that helped me, I learned how to work hard. So it's not like I thought I was working hard coming out of high school, but then you learn that there's levels to this. And so I learned how to work hard in college, and then I took what I learned in college to the pros, and then I learned how the pros work hard. So I'm not sure if I would have went early, if I would have been ready or not. But I know that I would have worked hard as I could, and I knew that I was a capable learner. I'm always looking to learn, and so if they would have, if I would have got drafted early, I would have definitely asked those questions. Yo, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I get better at this? And I would have did what it took, and that's what I did. As a 4-year guy, I came in. How do you prepare for the NBA season? How do you prepare for back to backs? How do you do treatment to why do you get in the cold tub, hot tub? Why you stretch so much? Why do you use the stim machine and all that? Like I ask those type of questions, and how do you work out after practice? What type of shots do you put up, and how can I do that? I asked those questions, and I actually watched. I watched Mike Miller shoot every day, Ray Allen, LeBron D. Wade. I watched Juwan Howard. He played 17, 18 years in the league. I watched how every day he lifted weights, he rode the bike, he ran hard, he stretched, he put ice packs on his knees. So I'm like, this is what it takes to last in this league. And I just started doing what they did.
Man, it was especially cool for me to watch kind of your journey from afar, just because we were same draft class and coming out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and how daunting? Because you know what, I used to watch you honestly, and I used to sit there and be like, damn, like is this dude nerd like coming in and playing with LeBron, D Wade, like. I think that's a dream, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of nerves that come with that, a lot of pressure and expectations that come with that. So, like, was you nervous? Was it daunting? How did they help you out? Like, other than what you just said, answering your questions.
Actually, bro, I really wasn't nervous. Like once I got drafted and got over that part, the
Mm-hmm.
excitement. Once I got down to Miami and got to work, I wanted to prove my worth, bro. That was all I wanted to do. I wanted them to look at me and have respect for me as a player. That's what I wanted. Obviously, they are who they are. They're superstar players. Obviously, they're special icons to the game. But once we were in practice and in the game, none of that mattered. They were my teammates. They were my coworkers. And so I had to earn that respect from them. And that was my total focus. Compete hard every day and earn their respect and earn their trust. And so when I got out there, they'd tell you I always competed hard. Like they had to, tell me, all right, cool, but like we not today. We don't got to go that hard today. Like I was always on go, ready to go. And so, and that's how you earn their respect, though. That's because those guys are so talented. They can cruise a little bit, but most guys can't cruise like that. So I had to work on my habits, going hard every day, all the time, so that when I got in the game, it was the same as practice.
Man, that's crazy too, because you probably once you got overseas for a minute, you probably looking at them young boys going hard as hell, them young boys in France or whatever it is going hard as hell. Like, hey man, chill out, dog.
When you a vet, the tables turn. When you a vet, you like, all right, the game is being ready for the game is most important. Once you become a vet, you use practice for like rhythm,
Facts.
like use practice to get rhythm and all that. And once you get your rhythm, you're like, all right, cool, it's time to shut it down a little bit.
Facts.
Right.
So what would you say, y'all? Like I said, I'm gonna say it again, because just so everybody know, 2-time NBA champ. What would you say are the most important qualities of a championship team, specifically in the NBA? And then second part, does that translate to overseas?
One, being highly competitive. You have to have a bunch of guys that are highly, highly competitive, almost chippy on the edge. You have to be highly, highly competitive individuals. And then you have to be pure. Be pure to the one mission. You can't be out there with individual like secret goals. You want to be pure to the team. The team success comes first, and then the individual accolades. They'll come. So you have to be competitive. You have to be pure to winning, and then you have to go through the tough times. When you go through the tough times, you stay together because every championship team goes through like a certain part in the season where it gets rough. Whether it's a practice, whether it's a travel schedule, whether it's a losing streak, something happens in the season where it's going to test your fortitude. And in those moments, that's where you're going to figure out, what type of team you have. And then you have to be lucky. You have to be a little bit lucky. Healthy. Everybody can't control health, but you have to be healthy. Certain shots, go your way that may not go the same way for another team. And so, all of those things contribute to having a championship team. And then you got to have, obviously, good players.
Yeah.
you gotta have players now. You gotta have all-star caliber or superstar caliber players, and you have to have role players that are excited to be role players. And on our team, we had both. We had superstar talent, and we had guys, role players that were championship level role players like Udonis Haslam, like myself, like Mike Miller, James Jones, Rio. Like we were all, championship level role players, and we're excited to play our roles.
Yo, how tight was the team chemistry on those championship teams versus like other teams you've been on?
Oh, bro, we were close, bro. We had so many um, get-togethers and things like that off the court. Christmas get-togethers, family get-togethers, events in Miami that we would go to together. No, we were pretty close as a unit, and I think that's what helps on the court because when you go through those tough times and you know the man next to you, you know him off the court as a man, it makes it easier to go through those tough times. When you don't maybe know a person and things get tough, it may be a little strange, but when you know the person, you know that they're a good guy, you know they have winning in the back of their mind and there's nothing selfish. It makes it easy when guys have to get on each other or we go through tough times together. So yeah, we were a pretty close knit group and we all had our own characters on the team.
Man, those teams are obviously well chronicled, right? Like closely. Every time you got LeBron,
Yeah.
D Wade, so there's plenty of stuff that's been put out there. And I mean, going through a 27 game winning streak, that's gotta be insane for one. But was there ever a time that like the fortitude was really really tested that you recall? Like going through them championship runs where you was like, maybe it was like, oh damn, like we might not win this joint or what? Like y'all was down 3-2 to San Antonio or whatever it was, So
Um, I'm not sure if we were ever like we're not gonna win it, but like during the season we had tough games against Indiana. They gave us problems during the season. Chicago always would give us problems during the regular season. Boston give us issues during the season. But somehow when it came to playoff times, we learned from those mishaps in the regular season. And when it was crunch time, we always came together and was able to beat them. But bro, Indiana, Chicago, Boston, playing those teams was so tough, bro. Tough.
man,
And then obviously getting to the finals against San Antonio, they're so stressful, bro, because they could score at all three levels. You got a point guard, you got a playmaker in Manu, you got the big dog down there, TD, and then you got shooting. So they was hitting you all over the place. So they were a very stressful team to play. But those Indiana series tested us so much, bro. I mean, we definitely had some altercations where we had to look at each other in the mirror after those Indiana games and those Chicago games, like, yo, what we gonna do? We definitely had those times.
man, was you?
It wasn't all peaches and roses, that's for sure. It wasn't all South Beach palm trees, that's for sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy how people. It frustrates me how people look back on them Indiana teams and like disrespect them in hindsight. Like they was a pro. Like they disrespect Roy Hibbert. They did like that. That team was cold. Like they was tough.
You gotta understand how the NBA was. Roy Hibbert changed the. You remember they put that verticality rule in the league
Yeah.
because of him. Before you couldn't just jump up vertical, that was a
Yeah.
foul. Then they changed the rules so that like kind of took away our attack because we were
Yeah.
attackers. Brian and they were downhill, and then would kick out. So when they put that verticality rule in, he's 7'4", he a wall down there. So it definitely changed the game up. And then they had Paul George and Denny Granger. And then they moved on from Denny Granger and had like the emergence of Lance Stevens and all those guys.
hmm
They were tough, bro. They were tough. It was a reason why they were they were one of the top seeds in
Yeah.
the East.
Yeah. Y'all was looking
Yep.
at Chris Bosh crazy when he was pouring the champagne on his face. No, I'm just playing.
Nah,
I'm
bro,
just
we was too
playing.
busy.
I'm just playing.
We was too big looking.
No,
He
I'm
trying to
just
be messy.
playing. I'm just
He
playing.
trying to be messy. Hey, and he trying to
Yeah,
shorten the
I'm
interview.
just
Look
playing.
at
I'm
it.
just playing. I'm just
That's
playing.
Bro,
what
we
he
were
do.
too busy having a good
I'm
time,
just
bro. We was
playing.
all
I'm
having
just
a
playing.
good
I'm
time,
just
man.
playing. Hey, but yo, there's a lot of
Shout out to CB1 though, because we don't get those chips from
man. He's
CB1.
he's goated. He's goated for real. He's a legend, man. Ain't no
So,
question. Salute Chris Bosh.
so
But yo, so there's a lot of parity in the league right now. Who do y'all see? And for both of y'all, who do y'all see having those championship qualities right now? And in the form of maybe even in the form of maybe of a dynasty, like a sustainable winning model.
As a team,
that's tough. Yeah, I know the Bucks gonna always be able to compete because they got the baddest
yeah.
dude in the
Yeah,
world,
he's tough. He's
Giannis.
tough.
He gonna always Boston look like they gonna always be able to compete with
Yeah.
with Tatum and Brown. That 1-2 punch is outrageous.
But I think Milwaukee's one of those teams where everybody buys into their role. Like you ain't got nobody out there doing no extras, and they really like
Locked
just
in.
buying it. Yeah, they locked in on kind of like you said, like, yo, this is the mission, and this is what we're gonna do, and you don't really see anybody like playing for that next contract or anything like that. So I see Milwaukee just definitely has a different culture over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, out west, I'm not sure. I mean, stuff changes out west so fast. Phoenix looked good one day. Denver, Jokic, look great sometimes. Especially when Jamal Murray is able to come back healthy. Who knows what that's gonna look like? That's a and then this young fella named John Morant.
Bruh.
This guy looked like he about to be the second coming of AI. Like he's special. I think they actually had a chance to win last year if he didn't get
I
hurt.
did too.
I truly believe that they actually had a chance to win last year
I
if he
did
didn't get
too.
hurt. So yeah, the West is wide open.
I think you're right about Milwaukee is they really haven't even been healthy. Like it's been a minute since they've been whole, and I think they get whole tomorrow night, right, back against the Lakers. I think Chris Middleton finally coming back, but yeah, it's Milwaukee. To me, it's Milwaukee and Boston. Clearly, I mean that's easy to say. They 1-2, but just they got the
Yep.
pieces that fit right now. In the West, I ain't dying on the Lakers. They showing some life out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't dying on the Lakers, but I don't know. If AD, it's all on AD, but I ain't gonna say the Lakers, man.
Health,
It's health. It's
health
health.
is
It's
wealth.
health.
Health is
Is
wealth,
wealth.
Yeah,
man.
health is definitely
Health is
wealth for
wealth.
sure.
But you know what? I'm not gonna say the Timberwolves, but you said John Morant. I think Anthony Edwards, I think Anthony Edwards is better than John Morant. I ain't saying he's produced at a higher level right now. But I'm saying like the way he plays both ends and the way he guards, the way he's capable of it. He guard like low key like I don't want to be disrespectful, but like he guard like a puppy dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll get you know what I'm saying? He'll give you like 5 possessions where he just hounding somebody, and then the next like 3 he just gonna kind of chill. You know what I'm saying? like he go lay down like chill, and then he'll come back with it. But that man is tough. He's cold.
I don't know if he better than Ja though. I mean, Ja was an MVP candidate last year. I think he finished third in the
Again, I ain't
MVP.
gonna say he's maybe I shouldn't say better, but I think as if I had to choose between those two for the next like 5-10 years, I
Mm-hmm.
might take Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. You really? You would take Anthony Edwards over Ja?
I
So
might.
out of the young players, who would you take? Out of all the young players between Luka, Ja, Anthony Edwards, like that's who you would take, Anthony Edwards?
He's in my top 3. I mean Tatum probably one
Okay.
still. If we still call, how old is he? Still 19 or whatever that little joke. Yeah, Tatum.
Jason Tatum, I don't know if he's
That's what
considered
I'm
young no
saying.
more. Is he 25 yet? Is he 25?
20.
I don't think he's 25 yet,
About
is he?
25.
Dang, if he ain't 25, then he definitely got to be considered in that
He ain't
group.
no older than 26.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Cause
so
Giannis
yeah.
28. So
He 24. He 24.
yeah. So
Yeah, so Tatum, yeah, I'm going with Tatum, Ja, and Luka, and then
I
Anthony
see.
Edwards.
I seen Anthony Edwards really like guard Luca, and Luca he don't move Anthony Edwards the way he move everybody else in the league.
They both heavy.
They both heavy,
They
but
both heavy.
Anthony Edwards so
Heavy guard.
explosive. Anthony Edwards he playing with
Yeah.
Gobert and Cat. I don't know if that fit. Last night,
I don't think that fits.
yeah, last night Cat was up out of there, and Anthony Edwards was going crazy. He was getting like
It clogs up the
Big
paint
clog.
for him. It clogs it up a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. It clogs it up, and it's another big ego on the team because Rudy Gobert in his own right can have an ego. 3-time defensive player of the year, and so it adds another guy who thinks he's that guy as well.
I mean,
So yeah, I can see how that can be.
you,
I think once one of those guys, either one of them sit out for a little bit, or they're gonna have a rotation where it's just one of those big fellas on the court with Anthony Edwards, not both of them. I think Anthony could flourish a little bit better.
Cat is out 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm saying watch. Well, let's see what Anthony Edwards do last night. He had 30 last night, like 37-5 last night. So I think he might take off while Cat's sitting out. But we gonna see.
You been watching John Morant though?
I've
Have
been
you
watching John Morant is special.
Okay.
John Morant is crazy. He caught a lob last night in the left hand and then caught it with the left. It was a terrible pass too. Caught it with the left, put the other hand on it, head at the rim. Like,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, bro! I don't give cats that much credit like that. But hey, listen, it's undeniable, bro. Like, yeah, he's special. It take a lot for me to good.
He put so much pressure on the rim, bro. Like, and he's getting there at will, and then he's a willing passer too.
He's
you know what I'm
yes.
saying? So I think he he changed the game in like a lot of ways, and that's where I say the difference between him and like Anthony Edwards is like Edwards is a threat to score the ball and score 40, but like Ja can give you 40 and 10. You know what I mean? Ja can get off for 15 assists in a heartbeat as well, and I think you really have to game plan for Ja.
He slowed his game down too a little bit this year at times, where it's like he's going from he ain't always just what I'm saying. And sometimes it's making
change. It's called switching gears. He know how to switch gears. He know how to elevate when he need to, and he also know how to downshift and
But
yeah, Ja elite, bro.
I think Anthony Edwards is really capable of the same things. Like I just don't think he's done it consistently. Like again, there's been times where he's getting in the paint, he's finding guys, and he also got 30, 35. And Anthony Edwards, he coming off the weak side. Again, I don't like comparing nobody to Bron, but he got some of that in him where he coming out of nowhere off the help side, scraping stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like getting out in transition, dunking. Like Anthony, he gonna guard the ball. He dynamic, man, on both sides of the ball in a way that I don't think Ja necessarily is. But that's not a slight to Ja.
I can see that.
That's not a slight to Ja. They both are. Right now, it's still Ja, but like I said, 5-10 years, I think Anthony Edwards could be the best player in the league, dog.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So
it's gonna be hard for anybody to be better than as long as Giannis is healthy right now.
yeah.
Giannis with 27, he gonna hold it down for at least another 4 or 5, at least, because he's still getting better.
Yeah.
He got back shoulder fades now. He got hezzy pull ups now. A little bit. It's getting crazy now. It's really getting crazy out
there. It's getting
there.
a little scary. The saving grace is that that you hope he can't keep that up past 32. Like that's it's just like
man. Listen, the part that's gonna save him with that is he's still 7 feet, so he can just stand in the room and rebound.
Right.
Even when he loses a step, he can still rebound 12, 11 a game. Like Giannis is scary, bro.
Like
Giannis is OD.
The NBA is in good hands, man. But that's like. Talking about Ja, man, I think the guards were a little different when you got drafted back in 2012, right? That's safe to say.
Yeah.
So I guess just talk about some of the qualities that some of the best guards in the NBA have now compared to when you first came in.
Well, when I first came in, other than like Bron, the best players in the league were kind of like point guards for a while. I mean, Derrick Rose was, other than Bron, was like the best player in the league. Steph Curry became one of the best players in the league. John Wall was probably the best two-way guard. As far as offensive defense, John Wall was back then was one of the best two-way guards in the league. It was so many dynamic point guards. Obviously, Kyrie was young, but he was, super, super talented. Rondo was the orchestrator up in Boston. He was like a maestro up there. And so the point guard position, was a you didn't have no off nights. I didn't have no off nights. You had Kemba Walker one night, Brandon Jennings another night, Derrick Rose another night. Like you don't get no off days. Then you go out west. It was a gauntlet out west. That Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, they was young gunners out there. They was Isaiah Thomas. People forget about him, how he emerged in Sacramento. He came out of nowhere and started killing. Brandon Knight, averaged 20 points a game. Like, it was a lot of guards that was getting to it, getting busy in the league. So, yeah, it was no off nights. And even the backup guards, Will Bynum was elite. Will the Thrill, elite.
Hey, I almost got in a fist fight with somebody because they said Ricky Rubio was better than Will Bynum. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Stop playing. Stop playing. They better stop playing.
Ain't no way.
Man, hey, even guys like John Lucas III was give you 20. Like he'll light you up. Like it was backup guards that was coming in that was getting to it. Like it was a lot.
So
it was a lot going on. So I learned that every night you got to strap up. Every night ain't no off nights. And that's what I learned a lot.
So you feel like the guards now are more dynamic than then?
No, I don't think so. I just think that the way the game is played, the game is moved to a more pick and roll centric game now. We used to have more sets in the league a little bit back when I was there. we still got up and down. Don't get it twisted now. We would get in the open court and dunk and do all that, shoot threes, but we shot threes for percentage, not for volume. At least on our team for the Heat. We didn't shoot threes for volume. We shot them for percentage. So we was always one of the top percentage shooting threes in the league. Now they shoot them for volume. They just like, man, get 33s up, get 43s up, no matter what. So I think that's the biggest difference, and the philosophy is different. When you give guys more freedom to do certain things, talented players, react positively to that most times. Like I could never come down and just shoot a no pass three. That could never happen. Now it happens all the time. It's okay. Hey, you was open, they was back, they went under, fire it up. So I think the philosophy is just different. Because Steph is still in the league, Dame is still in the league, Kyrie's still in the league. Those same dudes are still in the league now. They just veterans now. Drew Holiday's still in the league. Like these dudes are still in the league that was there with me. So no, they still get to it.
So do you think that some of these score first guards now, or these dynamic guards, because like Charles Barkley had said way back a couple weeks ago that Ja didn't make his teammates better, and it's becoming a Ja heavy episode. But do you think that some of these guards are making their teammates better while putting these numbers up? Like, cause like y'all both know you could put up 10 assists and you're not necessarily making your teammates better, right? Like you get 10 assists, but so I guess what y'all both think on that?
Yeah, I disagree with Chuck on that one. I really did. I understand what Chuck was trying to say. He was basically trying to say like John Morant still has things to work on in his game, but I disagree with he don't make his teammates better, because I think that he does make his teammates better. But there's so many possessions in the game, you can get stats that's not necessarily impactful on winning. And there's a lot of guys that's doing that. A lot of guys are getting big-time stats, but not necessarily impact on winning. And so you have to be a student of the game and really watch to pick up on that. Because some guys will say, man, if I had 10 assists, how can I not make my teammates better? But in reality, there's 110 possessions in the game. Somebody has to get the points and the assists. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you just have to watch the game, not just the stats, to see who's impacting winning and who's making their team better. But like guys like Steph Curry, he make his team better in different ways, so many different ways. His ability to stretch the defense, that automatically makes his team better, because now guys gonna get individual man-to-man coverage, or they're gonna be wide open. Same with Ja. Ja Morant he's gonna force 2 or 3 defenders to help. That's automatically helping his teammates to get spot up threes. Trey, you got Trey Young. His ability to shoot from far out, it stretches the defense out, and so now the help side is not as strong. So there's so many different ways to help your team. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to get assists. Sometimes it just might be your style of play. It makes it easier for your teammates.
Yeah. How do you think a guy such as yourself, like I would compare, your role in championship teams, I guess, to like a Tyus Jones now, right? Like, how do y'all make y'all teammates better? Like, what are the things? Because obviously it might not be 10 assists, but what are the things that y'all got to do on a nightly basis to make y'all teammates better? Help guys like LeBron, help guys like Ja, like Luka, to make their job easier.
Well, every game is going to be different. Sometimes it's going to be coming in, changing the pace, speeding the game up. Bringing the spark plug, picking up full court, changing the pace. Other times it might be slowing it down, keeping the lead. If we up by 4, make sure when the starters come back, we still up by 4 or we up by 8. Get a +4 out there. Or if we down by 10 when we come in the game, when the starters come back and we only down by 2 or it's tied up. So you have to look at the game that's being played. Sometimes it means speeding the game up. Picking up full court, changing the pace. Sometimes it means getting good quality possessions, organizing the offense, being solid on defense. And that's what I tried to do. Some games it was get the rebound coast to coast. Other game it was get it, come down, organize us, get us in a set. And that's how backup guards, championship level backup guards, that's how we, have to approach the game.
And how do you go about like learning that? Like was there somebody that you leaned on to kind of figure that out? Because I feel like a lot of, especially like young guards coming in that situation, like, you thinking, okay, I do got to get 10 assists, or I do got to get 15 points, or I might be losing my minutes or whatever it is. So it's like, how did you come to that realization and start to analyze each game separately like that?
Well, I accepted the fact that I wasn't going to have crazy stats, because there's not enough basketballs to go around. and you have to be a realist. You know, when you're on a team with LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, Mike Miller, you know, there's only so many basketballs to go around. And same thing, you know, and now teams that have, you know, maybe a Steph Curry, a Klay Thompson, a Jordan Poole, the majority of the shots gonna go through those three. So you have to find how you can impact the game in other ways. And so, you know, I had, you know, Coach Spo was very honest with me and what my job was. He was real honest with me, and I accepted it. Either I accept it and go out there and flourish, or I can fight it and, you know, not play. You know, so you have to be willing to accept your role. And I was fortunate to have an honest coach, you know, that was able to communicate that with me. I had assistant coaches that, you know, I watched, broke down film, like, listen, look, this is how you've been effective for this game. This, you know, you wasn't so effective in this game. Let's try to stay doing this. You know, and I took that and I tried to apply it.
Man.
But the competitiveness part, bro, when you're a competitor, bro, you'll find a way to impact. Like, you just like, man, if I'm out there, I'm gonna do something. Whether I'm gonna dive for a loose ball, or I'm gonna get a steal, or I'm gonna chuck, you know, I'm gonna get a good foul, like I'm gonna knock down an open shot. I'm gonna do something to where I'm gonna make an impact on this game, and that was my attitude. I'm gonna do something out there to make a positive impact.
Would you ever, has it ever been in the back of your mind? Because everybody, like, all right, you know, you get to the league, everybody want to get 20, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts,
It's like
facts, facts, facts.
everybody want to get 20. But would you ever trade one of your rings to be in a different situation where you could just go hoop?
Whew. It's funny because I be thinking about that all the time. You know what? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, because I probably could. I had the chances a little bit, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't trade those rings in because it was history, back to back. Not too many teams won back to back. Not too many teams won back to back. And like I said, I was a key piece to that in those series, those playoff series, and during the season and stuff like that. So I wouldn't trade it in. It would have been nice to be able to, you know, play quote unquote how I normally play coming out of college, because I seen guys that, you know, I was probably better than offensively and stuff like that, but I didn't have those same opportunities. But I chalked it up as, you know, you got to sacrifice to win. And so that was just my journey. And everybody's journey is different. And I accept my journey and what come with it. I feel like if you try to go back and change something, you know, you might have to change other things too. And so I wouldn't change anything.
Man, that's you can knock somebody out with a championship ring, leave a fingerprint on their head, but you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with Google.
Man, nah, I ain't fighting
You know what I'm
nobody.
saying? You can't do nothing with Google if you average 20. They're gonna be like, man, I don't give a damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? One's more noticeable, man. You got the right one.
Yeah, it's a different room, a different conversation.
It
You
is.
can walk in with the rings, that's
Nobody
for
take
sure.
that from you for sure. But in terms of off-season preparation, going international or G League, whatever it may be, is it different what you do in the season or during the off-season as opposed to the NBA, or what? I guess what's the routine?
Yeah, for going over to Europe, take a little bit more time off. Uh, I mean, less time off because you have to. It's a quicker turnaround. They want you out there in mid to late August. Some team want you in early August, but I was fortunate enough never had to go that early. But like mid to late August, that's a quick turnaround. So you know, I take some time off, but then I have to kind of, you know, get back to it in the NBA. You know, I work out all off season. I work out, but I don't have to be as intense because you don't have to show up till September. So you can like phase your workouts where you can like ramp it up, ramp it up, ramp it up. You know, so and my approach in Europe is a little different because I play a different role. I get buckets out, you know, in Europe, you know, get buckets out there, and so more of an aggressive, you know, I'm more of an aggressive player out there because my role is different.
Yeah. What do you think stands out about young guards in the G League versus internationally?
I think the understanding of the game in Europe is different. You know, they understand like because the style is different. They understand different roles. You know, like in Europe, the point guards is like most of them are like in a box. They only gonna do certain things. You know, over here, man, God can do it. Try anything. He might shoot a three. He might try to shake you. He might pick and roll you. He might coast to coast. You never know what he's gonna do. In Europe, you kind of know like this guy's not gonna do anything out of character.
Yeah, facts. That's definitely a fact.
Yeah, it's like you got to be on your toes. Like in anywhere in America, you know how guards are in America. You got to be on your toes at all times. The guy quick to reject and go away from the play quick.
That's
You know, in Europe, guy gonna run the play unless you just play horrible defense. In Europe, the guy gonna run the
that's a
play.
fact. That's a fact. Even except Goods when he was playing
Yo,
point guard.
is the philosophy a little different out there in regards to like more possessions and getting shots up earlier in the shot clock? Is that a lot different than what you saw overseas? Now that you're in the G League.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot more possessions in the G League. The G League has more possessions than the NBA game. Like they play fast, bro. Like the slowest G League team would be the fastest paced team in the NBA and in Europe. The slowest one. So they playing at an all time fast pace. In Europe, 10-minute quarters is hard to play as many possessions because it's not 12 minutes like in the NBA or G League, and then the running clock. So it's hard to get as many possessions in. Plus, players believe in getting the ball to certain players in Europe. You know, they're gonna get the ball to certain guys, so they're gonna slow it down to make sure those guys get it. In the G, it's like you better get up and down the court. If you ain't getting up and down the court, you might not get it. You know, and so that's just the philosophy, though. You know, more possessions, more chances to score, more entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yep.
you go culture next, Goods.
Yeah, nah. I had a question. I had a question for both of y'all, man. I've been sitting on this. I've been thinking like, especially both of y'all coming from Asvel. Like, what do y'all think if Victor would have stayed at Asvel this year? Do you think the hype will be the same as it is now? Obviously, him being at Lavallois now. You think if he would have stayed at Asvel, just strictly off of a development, strictly on the development side, do you think he'd be the same from what y'all
I
seen?
don't think so. I like the fact that he's in Paris because he's getting to just play. He's getting to open up his game, try stuff, experiment. Because he's getting ready for the NBA. He's not getting ready for Europe. You know, if he was gonna stay in Europe, then he being in Asvel might would be better. But he's getting ready for the NBA, and so he's able to go to a team where he can work on all of his stuff, experimenting on his game, and he's putting up numbers and highlights that he wouldn't be able to do at Asvel.
That's what I was. So I think shoot, he looks like he's a lot better than he was in Asvel right now. Like, I don't know. Like to your point, I don't know if that's because opportunity or development. It's probably both, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if he was doing anything near what he doing now in EuroLeague, his hype would
Whew.
be stupid. His hype,
I mean,
it's
it's already
already
stupid
stupid.
though.
It's
It's
already
crazy
stupid.
right now. It's
But
crazy.
his hype would be like
Luka Doncic type if he was in
I honestly, I
Asvel
think
doing
his hype
this.
is already low key higher than Luca's. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think his hype
Yeah.
coming out
Nah.
like coming out of EuroLeague. I think his hype is higher than Luca's. But I'm talking about his hype would be like I
Yeah.
don't know, Bron.
Yeah. They wouldn't let him play with that ball though. They wouldn't let him
Nah, they
just
wouldn't. For
come up
sure they wouldn't.
there. They wouldn't let him play with
TJ ain't
that
letting the
ball.
rock.
But
We was supposed to be in Asvel together, but a certain guard didn't wanna leave, so it was like it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. You know how
You know
that
how I
go.
go.
The
Yeah, it is what it
politics.
is, baby. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So
The
yeah,
politics. It is what it
you know,
is.
shit. I actually the hype might have not been the same because Lighty in the way. Lighty old ass won't move, man. Get off the ball, man.
Like, that's my dude, man. Watch him now. Lottie from the hometown. He from Ohio, baby.
Lighty, my dog, man. But I'm a hate. That's it. I only hate on two people: Goods and
Yeah.
Lighty, man. That's it. That's it, man.
We got a chip together, man. Lottie put it down out there.
Yeah, Lighty is an all-time great,
Yeah.
man. Lighty like Bill Russell out in France.
Facts. That's a
Man, he's about to get
fact.
his jersey retired, which I don't.
Shout out to
Shout
D
out D
Light.
Light, man. I don't think people understand how special that is in Europe to spend that much time with one club, 7 years, and
oh, I
get your
know.
jersey
Man, when you an
retired.
American and can
That's an
find your
American.
niche like that, that's
Yeah,
special.
yeah. So like,
Rare.
That's special.
Lighty got one of the all-time great careers in Europe for real. That probably don't get the recognition it should because it's not. I guess it's really.
He got like 6 or 7 chips too
Yeah,
out
he
there.
don't got the EuroLeague titles, but it's like,
French league
yeah,
chips.
right. But it
Nah,
don't
but hey,
matter.
it's
Like,
still,
yeah. It don't
yeah.
matter. Like to me, that's just as impressive as like Spanulis and all that. Just because the politics of the game with Americans and all that. So
That's a fact.
That's a fact. That's definitely fact, man. But transitioning into the culture question, man. So KD, a while ago, KD was talking about how he misses playing against LeBron, and just had me thinking like, has the competitiveness been missing in the game, and like, will the trend of like, do you think the trend of the best players guarding each other will continue moving forward?
I hope so, man, because it does seem like guys are like, as long as I get mine, I don't care what you get. I get my 30, you get your 30, and it's all cool. It seems like sometimes that's what's going on, and I don't. As a competitor and as a defender, I don't like that. I like it when guys like LeBron and KD they was going head to head. Direct combat. Kyrie Irving and Steph, Kyrie Irving and Clay, they was going head to head direct combat. Tony Parker and Chris Paul in the Western Conference, they used to go head to head combat. You know what I mean? It was like it was no duck in the smoke. You know what I mean?
That would
And so now, sometimes it's a little different. As a coach, I understand you want to be smart. If a guy is carrying the load offensively, you don't want to wear him out defensively all the time. But there's a few players in this league that are all-time greats that can do both, and I like it. I like to see that when those guys match up against each other. Those special players match up directly against each other. I like to see that. I think it makes the game more competitive for sure.
are we saying that happens right now? Does that happen right now?
No, we know that's not.
Okay, all right.
No, we know
Okay.
that's not.
Yeah, the question was, does the trend go continue? So I
We
didn't know.
watched it. We watched the game.
Okay, yeah, I was like
Come on.
Anthony Edwards do it. Just throw that back in there, but but
He does. He does. And when Kawhi's healthy and Paul George is healthy, they do it.
Yeah.
they do it.
They
Just
do it.
even like I mean,
Yeah.
Kawhi don't even do it. Like he do it in like the fourth quarter. It seemed like now, you know what I'm saying? Like, but all
I
game
mean, I think he been
he
hurt for the
has,
last 4
he
years
Yeah,
though.
has,
yeah.
he
Kawhi been
He
hurt
has,
been
for a
hurt a
cool
lot.
little minute.
he has.
But before he was hurt though, he was all smoke
No
Yeah, he
all
was
facts,
day.
all about it.
Yeah,
facts,
he was all
facts,
about it. Yeah. So
facts. He shut Luca Water
yeah,
off in that game
and
7.
Paul George too before the
Paul
injuries.
George, yep.
He was going. Him and D Wade was direct hand to hand combat
Man,
out there. Like it
Okay,
was
okay,
Paul
mano
but
y
George used
mano.
to come at
who
y'all
who
head.
under 25? Who under 25 is like that though?
Tatum a little bit. Nah,
Tatum's dude
Jalen
Brown.
Brown,
Brown is like that.
Jalen
Jalen.
Brown.
Jalen Brown will take on the challenge and give you 25,
But
30. I like him. He old school to me. I like
but does
JB.
that? But
I ain't
he's
gonna
still
lie.
like the second option, right? I know he's still great, but so does that really count? Like that's like Scottie Pippen-ish or nah? We're not doing that.
No, we're
Okay,
not
we're
doing
not
that
doing
right now.
that. All right, just checking.
We're not
Just
doing that.
checking.
But he's a 1A option. Like he's a
Facts.
1A, 1B
No
type of
facts.
player. He's not. I mean, obviously Tatum is the guy, but like he's a 1A, 1B type of level
Yeah,
player. So those two don't duck no smoke. Tatum and Brown. I don't think they duck nobody.
it's dope to see them. It's dope to see them figure that out there too, like the dynamic.
And Giannis too. Giannis guard Embiid. He guard Joker. He guard Anthony Davis. He want all of it. Giannis want all the smoke.
Giannis got a problem. He played too damn hard to be that big, man.
Giannis, he even be guarding KD
Yeah,
sometime. Like they really be getting to it out
yeah.
there. And KD be answering the challenge too though. He be guarding Giannis sometimes too. Like
You know,
he be taking on the
you know
challenge.
who do it? Who don't get the love for it is Kyrie. Kyrie,
Kyrie have started to do
Kyrie.
that. He
He
just
just
started.
started to.
He just
He
started
just
doing
started
that. Yeah,
to. But
yeah, yeah.
Kyrie gonna go find Luca or whoever it is. Like you gonna do it.
Yeah.
You gonna do it.
'Cause Kyrie a
Kyrie
bucket.
is the
Whew.
that's the real Jesus Shuttlesworth. Yeah, poetry in motion.
Yeah, look at you. He just had to take it too far. He just had to take it too far.
Hey man, that's who the movie was about. I'm telling you, that dude
Uncle
poetry in
Uncle
motion,
Drew.
whatever you want to call him.
He is.
Kyrie is
Uncle Drew is like it's special for sure.
Kyrie. Anytime two dudes start calling themselves gods like that, and nobody bat an eye. Like you cold. Them two just talking about how you a god. Like, all right, yeah, you is. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I don't get into all that, but they elite
they
though.
elite. they elite.
They elite.
Man. But
hmm
yeah,
Who else is like that though? Under 25 that get to it. Like,
Under 25.
I mean, don't nobody try to go at Zion. You can't go at him.
how old Brandon
Um,
Ingram now?
I don't know nobody
How
under
old Brandon
25.
Ingram now? How old
Who?
Brandon Ingram? He's 20.
Yeah, he take on the challenge too. Actually, he do. He be matching up with them dogs, them wing players. He do.
Yeah.
Bi.
Yeah.
He sure do.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Actually, Bi is a
Yeah,
star.
he is.
He an emerging
That
star.
might be under 25. D Book.
Yeah. Book don't be having to guard him that much though, because he
Mikal.
got
You got Mikal
Yeah, you
Bridges.
got Bridges
he
on
got
there.
Mikal Bridges. I mean, and you gotta. It makes sense to have Mikal
Yeah,
Bridges on him. I
Yeah.
mean, not that Book can't do it,
yeah,
but I mean, Mikal Bridges is so
mm-hmm.
elite.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But he can outdo. He can do it with any of them though. Book can go tit for tat with whoever
Nah, he
though.
definitely can. I didn't realize he had
He could go bucket for bucket. What he scored 90 points in 2 games or something like
51
that.
last night,
Yeah.
right? Like Tatum, man.
If,
But Tatum had 49 on
man,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
on something.
yeah. Tatum trying to win MVP this year.
It's his right now. He got it right now. Ain't no question.
Yeah, he stole it. Like, because at first it was like a runaway with Luka at the beginning of the year,
Man,
but Tatum just slow walked him down all the way.
what y'all think? So they talking about Luca needs more help around him, but I think he probably do. But who can you put around Luca that fits Luca's game and that's gonna not take away from the numbers he's putting up?
Well, I think he's gonna have to kind of sacrifice some of those numbers.
Right. So the only person I could think that fits is like
Maybe.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, but we not break the
Exactly.
breakup. What's going on
Exactly.
in Boston?
Ain't no way.
We're not trying to break that Boston
Ain't
Tea
no-
Party up. We're not trying to do
Ain't
that.
no way.
Nah.
Ain't no way.
But yeah, Tatum is probably one of the only ones that could do that.
Maybe Bi, but he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that's tough.
CJ would fit, I think. He
Yeah,
ain't going
but
nowhere.
they need offense and defense
True.
in Dallas
Yeah.
to make up for some of Luka's deficiencies on defense. They need really elite 3-and-D guys.
Very true.
And Lucas,
And he, like I said, he's gonna have to learn how to sacrifice a little bit.
Yeah, he's a high
But
usage
he,
guard.
yeah, from start to finish, he trying to go get it. Sometimes he might have to like ease into the game a little bit more and then turn it up at the end, rather than just go from start to finish, step back, mixing ISO head fake. He give you everything for all 4 quarters and get a little tired at the end.
The other thing is like I don't know if anybody like he plays at a pace that nobody else plays at. So that's the other. I feel like it's hard to partner with people because he's slow all game. Like he don't move faster than. They need to put a speedometer on his head. He don't move faster than 10 miles per hour for 40 minutes.
But if you got the right pieces around, I think he would be willing to adjust his game because he wants to win. He has the European mentality where it's like he really wants to win. Winning is what matters.
Ain't no question. Ain't no question.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
What they be doing in Eurobasket be crazy.
Yeah.
Luka and Giannis and Joker, they be putting up video type numbers out there.
Hey, bro, like I was at the game in Serbia when Joker was playing against Giannis. When I tell you he was moving Giannis like on the block, like I'm watching like box outs, post and fight for position. Like when Joker sit down, it's over.
Can't move him.
You can't move him, and Giannis is he a big boy, but man, Joker's strength is like he
don't get to use his strength as much because the NBA game is not like that. But in Europe, he really get to post you up and give you that shoulder to your chest, boom, like
Nah, he physical on them offensive rebounds. He be chop blocking and all that. Like, dude, super physical. Like, it's crazy, man. We're just watching like the off ball action, like super physical.
For sure. That's a fact.
We're going to close up with paycheck, rain check. Goods got a last segment for you.
Paycheck, rain check. Somebody's paycheck taking a rain check, man. But the NBA, man, paid the French league. I think they said it was like $120,000 more or less to have the rights to stream Victor Wembanyama's games. On the flip side of that, Paris was trying to get a cut of that from the LMB, and the LMB declined and said no. So this is kind of like a two-sided question. It's like who's in the right, who's in the wrong between like Paris and the LMB, and then did the LMB sell themselves short for selling the rights for only $120K?
Yeah, they should have definitely amped that up, and they definitely should split some with Paris because that's where the product is. How can you not? The product is the product. That's where the money should go. at least get a cut of it.
Yeah, you know how they is in Europe, boy. They
Stingy,
ain't playing
boy.
none of
They
That's
that.
tight.
stingy.
They tight.
Golly.
Because like, if I was Paris, what if I just don't play him? Then what?
He gonna leave.
I mean,
Yeah, but you
obviously they're
can't do
not going to
that.
do that. Obviously they're not going to do that. But it's just like the LMB's kind of twisted for not
Nah.
breaking off
Yeah,
Paris a little something.
they definitely dead wrong
They
for that.
dead wrong for that, for getting swindled out of all that damn money and then not sharing the damn money. Like, how y'all? That's crazy. Y'all lost
Man,
twice.
I mean, 120K. That ain't much to, and then that ain't much to
Yeah,
share.
it
Nothing.
sure ain't. It sure ain't. But man,
That ain't much to
nah, they out
share.
of pocket for that. They out of. I don't know who in charge over there, but they, somebody need to make a phone call because that's crazy. They,
Man, 120. That's it, and then don't split it with the product with the team that got the product.
they supposed to. That's supposed to.
That don't even sound like
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
supposed to boost Paris up for the next 2 years. They supposed to get million, two, something like that. That's
Yeah,
supposed to get you
Yeah,
a.
it got to be one something.
Hey,
Like you talking about the
yeah.
NBA.
that's supposed to get you.
On
I
the flip
guarantee
side,
Tony Parker would have insisted.
What?
If he was playing for Asbel, Tony Parker would have insisted that he got some of
Man,
that
what? Insisted. He
for
wouldn't even have to say
sure.
nothing. Like,
Right.
he gonna do all that.
hey, the only way it makes sense is if they got like some crazy sponsorship on the back end from having that, added reach on the NBA platform. That's the only
hmm
way I can see that making sense for the LMB. You know what I'm saying? But 120K, I mean, that sounds like robbery.
Nah, that's
For
trash.
sure.
That's trash. That's got to be there.
I mean, this dude's about to be a multi-millionaire.
That's
Yeah.
that's trash. That shit is 120,
To
120 a game. 100 a game.
a
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 a
game?
game.
Yeah,
100 a
no,
game.
that'd be more like it.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be
I'm about to say that would be more like it.
100
120
a
per.
game. What's that? That's I mean they
Yes,
only play what 30 games, something like that. So it's
yeah,
that's
around like
that's
three.
30.
that's more
Yeah,
reasonable though.
that's 3 million, right? Am I tripping? My math messed up.
Yo, Norris, what happened at I just thought about this. What happened at Badushnos that one time? The with the fans. What was that? Where was y'all at? What happened in
We
that
was
situation?
we was in we was in Serbia, Belgrade, Red Star.
Okay.
Man, dude, they was trying to intimidate me, bro. Dude, threw the ball at me while I was shooting, like rolled the ball towards me, like while I'm shooting, and
Who, one of the
I'm
players?
turned up. Nah, one of the helpers,
Mm.
like he rolled the ball like towards my feet while I'm shooting, right? And so, and when I picked up the ball after I came down from my jump shot, I picked up the ball and he was staring at me like looking at me like what you gonna do? So I threw the ball back at him, and then and then they fans be there early, so they start throwing stuff on the court and stuff like they were trying to intimidate me, and I wasn't gonna be
Yeah.
intimidated, bro. I ain't care what was going on. Like they wasn't gonna scare me. But then they started like spitting and doing all type of foul stuff. It
Right.
was wrong. Like the league, they got punished for it, which they should have. But
Right.
like we shouldn't have even played the game because it was a 2 hour delay. Because they had like thugs running on the court while we warming up, trying to intimidate us, throw our basketballs while we warming up, doing layup line. They throwing, kicking our basketballs everywhere. Security is not doing their job, and I'm like, this is a professional environment, and they letting this happen. Like, what's going on? Like, when we take the ball out, the guys sitting on the front rows are obviously spitting on us and throwing stuff on us, and the refs not kicking them out the game. I'm like, yo, like, I was irate. I was ready to go. I
This
was
man
ready to go,
irate.
man.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I
Yeah, bro.
remember there was some little media reports. I was seeing it on Twitter and translating some of it, and they would like clip up like the part of you throwing the ball at the fans or
Yeah, they
whoever.
edited it. They
Yeah,
tried
they
to
would
edit
edit
it.
like that part, and I remember watching that. I'm like, bro, like I was like, look, I don't even know Norris Cole, but like nobody just gonna throw no basketball player just gonna throw a ball at a random fan for no reason. Like there's always
Nah,
something else
he threw
to
the
it.
ball at me first.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Them dudes, bro. They was just trying to act tough. They was in their own country, whatever. But like, I'm here to play basketball. I don't, the little rivalry and stuff. That's cool, but like, don't cross the line, bro. Don't be running on the court. They was literally throwing chairs on the court.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Literally,
wild.
like it was, bro. It was the most unprofessional environment I ever seen in my life, bro. I really like. It's hard to get me to a situation where I really want to like fist fight. Like I want to fight all of them. Like I wanted to really fight all of them, but it's too many of them. But like I was ready to go at that point. Like Only reason why I didn't swing on one of them is because I'm like, I got to make it back home. I got to get home to see my family. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. You don't know what they got going on out there.
Because I want, ain't no telling what they
Yeah,
do to you. But I really want to haul off, just start knocking them out one by one. Like
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But listen,
when a person spit on you and you see them spit on you, multiple people like you, like man, what's going on? Like the security guards looking at them do it, and you like, bro, like this is outrageous. This is outrageous, bro.
that's the most disrespectful shit you could do to somebody. Hands
I'm
down.
telling you, bro. They was like Norris Doan. My teammates, the security guards was holding me back. It's like it'll be an assault charge if you fight one of them. I'm like, bro, this how y'all do out here? They can just do that, and you can't do nothing back to them, huh? It's like spit back. I'm like, man, I'm not doing that.
This the second. Who else was talking about they got spit on? This the second gun got spit on story we had on here. Was it Theo? In Theo in like Kosovo or something like that. Jordan Theodore.
Man,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, yeah. It was Jordan Theodore. Yeah, yeah.
Man, Europe a wild place,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, that's too much, bro. I like the rowdiness of the fans. I like how I love crazy environments, but don't touch me or don't throw nothing on me. Like don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna be scared. I'm not. It's nothing you're gonna do to scare me. But don't throw stuff at me and spit on me, especially when you know I can't punch you back. Like
I rather
yeah,
shit.
don't do that.
I rather you touch me or put your hand like before you spit on me. Like god damn. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it was bad. Like my uniform, I left it after the game. I left everything there. I ain't touched. As soon as I took my uniform off the shower, I left everything there. I didn't want to see that stuff no more.
damn. That's wicked.
Yep,
That's
it was
tough.
bad. It was bad, bro. I didn't. My father was out there. I didn't even let him come to the game because they told me he came to Serbia, and then before the game, the guys from the team said, "Norris, your father probably shouldn't come." And I'm like, "Why?" They said, "Just trust me. Just it's probably best that he don't come to the game." So my dad stayed in the hotel. Man, when I got back to the hotel, he was so mad. He was like, "Yeah, I couldn't have came to that game." He said, "Because I wasn't gonna watch him just keep throwing stuff on you, spitting on you." I was like, "Yeah, that's why they told you not to come."
Damn.
Because he watched the whole game. He was like, "Bro, I was watching them throw stuff on you, and the security guards didn't do nothing."
Damn. So listen, man, we appreciate you joining us. That's all we got for you. That's Norris Cole, man. Again, this is the Role Player Podcast for Swish Cultures. I'm Jordan Taylor. That's Anthony Goods. Norris, come back, join us again, man. We appreciate the good time. Appreciate the stories, dog.
Man, appreciate y'all too. Keep doing y'all thing, brothers.
Love.
Yes, sir.